I guess we're going to start a couple minutes early. This is okay. This is a reminder to those still standing in the lobby that I just passed through that we are starting. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Rochester, Minnesota. We are a church of open minds and loving hearts, celebrating many sources of wisdom and many spiritual paths. Your faith, your doubts, your identities are welcome here. I'm Ann Black-Sinak, serving as your worship associate this morning in a service led by the wide welcoming team. We extend a warm welcome to Ellis with thanks for sharing their music today. Welcome also to visitors, newcomers, and those online. We're glad you're here. There is a preschool playroom open for young ones just past the lobby, and groups for kids following the time for all ages. Newcomers are welcome. After the service, join us down in the Commons for refreshments and fellowship, where you can find ways to get connected in both church and community. Information about our church and upcoming events calendar can be found in your order of service. Our justice partner for this month is Boundless, an indoor play space and activity center brought to you by SEMSIL. All of our offering this month goes to their work. You can give as the plates pass or anytime online, and there are QR codes in your order of service. Thank you for your generosity. Let us enter our time of worship with these words from our minister in the 1870s, the Reverend Eliza Tupper Wilkes. May our faith in humanity and our message of hope and good cheer light the way. In a moment, our opening hymn, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, which is number 1008 in the teal hymnal, which you should all have, will call us back. Before we sing, I invite you to rise in body or spirit and greet those around you. Who's the person?
Good morning. Our chalice lighting today is an excerpt from We Gather Here as Individual People by Barbara Hamilton Hallway. We gather here as individual people, young and old, male, female, and non-binary, non-disabled and disabled, gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, and straight people, all the colors of the human race. Theist, atheist, agnostic, Christian, Buddhist, feminist, humanist. We gather here as a community of people who are more than categories. We gather here, each ministering to the other, meeting one another's strength, encouraging wholeness. We give thanks for this extraordinary blessing, the gathering together of separate, unique individuals as one whole body, one whole, one body, our church. And we will now collect the offering.
Stars reflect the sun. Maybe we are part reflection. Maybe we begin somewhere along a never-ending chain of light. Repeat, reflect, repeat. Here, right now, can we hope to find the truth, the better angels of our nature? Dark before the dawn, can we see all we've becoming? Do we have to run from what is true that hurts? Can we let it land? Repeat, reflect, repeat. Here, right now, can we hope to find the truth, the better angels of our nature? Here, right now, can I let go of what I once knew? I don't have to have the answers.
Today's story is called Intersection Allies. And those are a couple words that we might not be super familiar with, especially if we're under, 4 feet tall. But the thing to know is that intersection means that there are things that come together, much like two streets that cross. And allies are friends, people that we work with and support no matter what. So that's why today's book is perfect for today's service. Thank you to Shelley for picking it out. It's called Intersection Allies, We Make Room for All, by Chelsea Johnson, Latoya Council, and Carolyn Choi. Illustrations by Ashley Seal-Smith. Witness the lives of a bold group of friends. If one is in need, the other defends. Age is one trait that each of them share. But kids' lives are unique, as you'll soon be aware. Each child has a story and their own point of view, filled with passion and power, just like you. My name is Alejandra, but I go by Allie. I use a chair, but it doesn't define me. Instead, it allows me to zip and glide and play. When I need to get through, friends help make the way. Where there's room for some, we make room for all. Friends can be allies no matter how small. Hello, I'm Parker. After school every day, Allie's family takes care of us both while we play. My mom works hard to provide for me. Her love's the source of our stability. No toys or money, nor treasures untold. Community care is more precious than gold. Skirts and frills are cute, I suppose, but my superhero cape is more Kate than bows. Some may be confused that a kid like me can wear what I want and be proud and carefree. My friends defend my choice and place. A bathroom, like all rooms, should be a safe space. My name is Adila, and just like Kate, what I wear inspires endless debate. Some give, some chant, some sing, some pray. My hijab is my choice. You can choose your own way. The clothes that you wear never justify hatred. Clothes can be playful, simple, or sacred. Covered, adorned, or with casual flair, my body's my own. I dress it with care. My name is Nia, and with what's on the news, it's easy to be frightened or sing the blues. For her, for them, for him, for me, we all deserve to breathe and be free. The color of our skin is no reason to hide. We protest for safety, equality, and pride. Our friends join along in solidarity and love. That is the stuff allies are made of. Safety also includes our trees and air, the land we've called home, our places of prayer. I am Dakota, and like my ancestors, my tribe and I are water protectors. Protecting from profit and power, we stand up to preserve our nations, our cultures, and the respect we deserve. My name is Gloria. Yo tengo 7 años. After school, it's to La Fruteria I go. My language and savvy allow us to thrive. I've got hopes and dreams and skills and drive. Working together makes us both more secure. I'm a daughter, a partner, and an entrepreneur. My name is Hee-jung. I was born in Seoul. I moved here when I was 5 years old. I'm part of what's called the 1.5 generation. My parents and I span 2 different nations. Like Gloria, I am to help my mother by translating for her one word to another. We navigate life in our new home together, because kids have the schools to make everything better. My name is Yuri, and I'm new to this place. Hee-jung's family welcomed me with love and grace. Finding refuge meant traveling far from home. I sailed, I flew, I rode, and I roamed. Escaping violence, war, heartache, and intrusion, we came to this nation seeking dreams and inclusion. From near, from far, from here, from there. We're more than our origins, and we all deserve care. Race, religion, citizenship, class, and ability. Each of these intersects to form identity. Age, gender, size, and skin color, too, can make living life different for a friend than from you. Barriers and bias are often to blame. We strive to be equal, but not all the same. Life's ups and downs can take many forms, but standing together, we'll rewrite those norms. When there's room for some, we can make room for all. Friends can be allies, no matter how small. We will now sing the children's benediction. It can be found on the screen or in the back inside cover of your hymnal. If you'd like to join me over here.
Good morning. It is good to see all of you. I invite you to settle in here as we create a place of communal caring and connection. It's our time to pause amidst the busyness of our lives, to slow down enough to consider the beauty that is here all around us, and to open a space for listening and love. Here, we honor all who support us in this caring, loving, and all-inclusive ministry. We send gratitude to Vicki Wolf and Colleen Murphy, serving as our caring coordinators, arranging care for our members and friends in need for the last 2 weeks. Sue Anderson will take over tomorrow for the next 2, and we thank her for that. The members of our caring committee are wonderful examples of our compassionate community, holding us up as we go through challenging and happy times. And life can be challenging. We could all use extra support with what life throws at us, and if you are experiencing those challenges in your life, we encourage you to reach out for support and help. If you need additional care or personal pastoral care, please reach out to Reverend Luke or myself with that request. In this community, we share pieces of our lives with one another. We do this because all people here have value. Each person's experience matters. We lift up those who are experiencing sadness, illness, or loneliness. May the strength and love in our congregation help guide you. And we revel in those who are experiencing joys in their lives. May their happiness lift us all, and may their joy filter into all around them. This morning, we hold Austin Ferguson in our thoughts after he spent 2.5 days in the ICU due to an unfortunate bout of food poisoning, resulting in dehydration and extremely high fever. Thankfully, he was released on Wednesday, and we send him healing thoughts as he recovers. And we hold Ellen and Gary Klein in our hearts today. Ellen's adult son, but her baby always, Jeff Don, 54, died on Monday in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, after a long and painful illness. He is survived by his son and daughter, and we send strength to all who knew Jeff. And Gary and Ellen are here today, so we hold you. And many of you will remember Carlos Aquina, who prepared a fantastic Venezuelan dinner for us UUs last January. He is now in ICE detention as he waits his asylum appeal and needs our emotional support through this difficult experience. So our cards of support list, cards of support and well wishes are welcome for all mentioned. The cards of support list that is compiled weekly contains several members and friends of the church who are experiencing those challenging or happy times. and is posted in the entryway of the church as well as through a link in your e-news. We provide cards and postage and welcome you to leave the cards you write near the basket for mailing down in the hallway. So we encourage you to spread well wishes in that way. So now in this space, settle in and breathe deep the breath of life. Feel below you the earth and its ancient turning. And above you, the sky and the stars shining with their ancient light, holding you in this space, yourself made of earth and stars. Sit deeply here in this community of love and justice, hope and grace. And know that here you are named and you are known as beloved. I invite you into this time of meditation, this time of prayer, first by sharing silence together. Spirit of life, source of love, God of many names and beyond all naming, we hold in our hearts all those who suffer in mind, body, or spirit. I invite you to bring the names you are holding in your heart this day, in joy or sorrow, celebration or concern, and silently or aloud now in this time to speak their names. For all those names, spoken and unspoken, may we be held in love and grace. I share this prayer by the Reverend Erica Hewitt. God, who takes the form of people seeking connection, thank you for letting us off the hook when it comes to being perfect. Thank you also for not letting us off the hook, for calling us to rise to the promise of who we might be. May the faith in the Spirit of life, love for the community of earth, and love for the light in each other be ours now and in all the days to come.
Just made my ukulele very happy. I'm projecting. Love, ordinary love, do 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 do. Love, this is the time of our lives. We are watching the tide come in and go out again. Love, it's such a beautiful night, walking here by your side. Oh, there's nothing else I'd rather do. Oh, love, ordinary love, sticking it out when the going gets tough. I keep coming home to you. Love, ordinary love, seeing the best and giving no less, working hard to be good for you. I got a feeling things are only getting brighter. We're stopping all that shadow boxing, seeing more light. We have made a decision to make our love better. Every moment is a chance to turn whatever's wrong right. We are magic in the making. We are making magic happen. Love, ordinary love, do 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 do. Don't you know I want you, love? We just get better with time, keeping each other in mind. Yeah, we got an everyday joy. love. I keep coming home to you, love. I'll keep my eyes on the truth, seeing the best and giving no less, doing what I can do every day, love. Steal the show, love. We don't need fancy stuff to make our dreams come true. I got a feeling things are only getting brighter, love. Ordinary love. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Don't you know I want you, love? Ordinary love. Ha, do-do-do-do-do-do. Everyday love. Ordinary love. Ha, do-do-do-do-do-do. Don't you know we need love? Ordinary love.
Today's reading is an excerpt from the sermon, The Light That Shines Out of a Life, by Dennis Day Daniel. We have much to learn from those around us, and probably more to learn from those who are different in significant ways than from those who are rather like ourselves. People who have learned to live with characteristics that set them apart from others and develop strengths of character and ingenuity and humor in trying to find their place in an indifferent or even hostile world. And many times, compassion, because they have firsthand knowledge of how easy one's world can fall apart. Each of you inhabits a reality which operates according to its own logic, uses its own language, symbols, and provides its own system of rewards. We are all enriched by each and every person around us in some way. Each of you can instruct the rest of us in important aspects of being human. And the same is true for the vast world of human beings beyond our walls. We find the patience and the openness to discover ways that we enrich each other's lives. May we learn to see the light shining out.
Start where you are, head in your hands, cotton in your ears, stone in your heart. Start where you are, ocean in your eyes. Tears are like rain inside a bigger sky. Oh, there is a change coming on. Oh, there is a chance to wake up to what is going on. Start Start where you are, thinking you know, falling on your face, you can see the road. Start where you are, wherever it is. Oh, loving can break your heart, but fear will do you in. Oh, there is a change coming on. Oh, there is a chance to wake up to what is going on. Start where you are. Start where you are. I say to myself, telling the truth is loving, even when it's hell. Start where you are. Stretch open your mind. Oh, that's how we'll come together. Or can we come together? 'Cause oh, there is a change coming on. Oh, there is a chance to wake up to what is going on. Start where you are.
Thank you, Alice. That's amazing. Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Shelley Roby. I'm a white, disabled, queer woman who is 52 years old. I have short red hair, blue eyes, speckled glasses. I'm wearing all black because I'm that creative. And I'm very excited to be here today. We match! In 1960 and 63, President Kennedy created several commissions to research and treat disability. When I first read that, something didn't fit with me. You want to know what that was? These two words put together: treat disability. This leads people to believe that there is a way to treat or cure disability. You may be able to treat an illness, a broken bone, a disease. But this statement feeds the stereotype that disability needs to be gotten rid of by treating it, making disability bad, when that simply isn't true. This is a classic case of the medical model of disability, saying it's something to be fixed or cured, and that the disabled person should go to any lengths to do so. Let me tell you something. Disability is not a dirty word. Disability is not something to be fixed or cured. Neither is it something to be feared or ashamed of. Disability is simply part of the human fabric of human life. I understand the good intentions behind these commissions, but there are only so many times that a person can be understanding before adding to the unchecked ableism that abounds. I had a brain tumor in my brainstem rupture when I was 42, requiring surgical removal. Up to that point, I was non-disabled. I walked into the hospital, signed the consent form, and then everything changed. Since then, I've had 5 brain surgeries, all with huge success. It was the removal of the only one that threatened my life that left me with multiple disabilities. When I woke up from surgery, I didn't recognize the body I was in, nor was I aware of how pervasive the changes in my life were to become. I had worked with people with disabilities from the time I was a teenager. I thought I knew a thing or two about disability. There are some things you just cannot understand unless you live that existence every day. I've learned so much since becoming disabled. I have incredible help and support, and this congregation makes up much of that. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that disability is not experienced in an identity silo, especially when I came up 2 years ago as queer. I fell in love and married someone who is non-binary two-spirit. Our marriage may have flamed out, but I know myself more fully and live more authentically now. But let's go back to the 1960s for a minute. The Civil Rights Act had passed back in '64, but it bypassed disabled people. In the following years, activists like Judy Heumann, Margaret Bristow, Ed Roberts, Justin Dart were all advocating for the rights and political equality for people with disability. It is because of their work that laws such as the one we celebrate the anniversary of this month, the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, were passed. This signature anti-discrimination law for disabled people was passed in 1990. That's almost 30 years after the Civil Rights Act. Far too long in my view, especially when places of worship and churches are exempt from following this law. Then in 2005, queer disabled activists of color, Patty Byrne, Mia Mingus, and Stacey Milburn, expanded on the disability rights movement by launching the framework of disability justice. The disability justice movement shows us how disability intersects with other oppressed identities, and dismantling oppression needs to be multi-focused. Intersectionality, what we have been highlighting here today, is one part of this important framework. In centering disability justice, we are inviting every person to bring their whole and holy selves into our spaces. The UUA asks congregations to go above and beyond the ADA and aim, see what I did there, for full inclusion of disabled people in congregational life, in every way that word is intended. They have fully embraced disability justice and further the call for congregations to join them in dismantling all oppression. The wide welcoming team here has radical inclusion at its core. It is our internal committee here at First UU that works to bring education and awareness to identity oppression of all kinds. We center disability justice and welcome anyone to join us in our quest to continue drawing the circle wide. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to our service today. I am Jade Joyce, and my pronouns are she, they, them. I stand at the podium, a short person on a lift. I am pale-skinned. I have short white hair. I wear eyeglasses. And I also wear my sacred plaid shirt for y'all. So my reflection today is our voice, our power. I invite you to note how your body responds as I share in this reflection. When I listen to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in his I Have a Dream speech, I get goosebumps. I call them God bumps. And I feel a rising energy through my core being. I sense his power as the cadence of his voice becomes a rapid-paced crescendo, then comes to a dramatic pause. This pause allows us to feel, to process the importance of the message. Dr. King spoke fiercely, courageously, and constantly. And so it was with Audre Lorde. I grew up knowing who Dr. King was and the impact he had and still has on civil rights and social justice. I only recently discovered Audre Lorde and the impact that she had and has as an activist and poet, particularly her impact on the rights of all women. Audre's book, Sister Outsider, was required reading for my first class in seminary a year ago. We were asked to read the introduction, and within it, a paper about the uses of erotic as power. Before I even started reading, I was like, I'm in seminary. What is this institution asking me to do? I was offended by the author and by this new institution, but I was so wrong, so very wrong. So naturally, I began reading the paper with the word erotic in the title. I was so moved that I ended up devouring the contents of the book and was left wondering, how did I get this far in life without reading this book? I felt as if Audre was writing for me and speaking to me. Audre's poetry is her voice, her power. Two of Audre Lorde's quotes grabbed my attention and helped me to use my voice, my power. She quotes, or I quote her, "When we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid, so it's better to speak." And another, "Your silence will not protect you." Nearly 20 years before Audre Lorde voiced her powerful words, Dr. King addressed the annual Institute on Nonviolence and Social Change with these words that many of us will recognize. "History will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of the bad people, but the appalling silence of the good people." I am proud to be a member of this First Unitarian Universalist, Rochester, Minnesota, a church filled with good people who are not silent, people who are using their voices, their power, to make change in our world. They're using their power. Some of you may be thinking, oh, I don't use my voice, I'm kind of quiet, or I don't use it enough. And I don't use, where's my power in social justice? Well, maybe none of us have the powerful voice of Dr. King, or the poetry of Audre Lorde, or the powerful voice of Ellis. Maybe none of us have those powers, but what does it mean we don't? That does not mean that we don't impact social justice in powerful ways. I'd like to share some of those ways. The first thing that comes to mind is the Building Our Future teams and their creativity and ensuring that accessibility is prominent and a priority in our Building Our Future. Those who speak to immigrant families in need of housing and help them with that housing. Speaking from the platform about items needed in the Blue Barrel, toothpaste, I believe, this month. Participating on a social justice team, quietly or very loudly. There's a few of us here that like to be loud. Moving fellow congregants to begin clapping to the music. Thank you, Allie, for taking on that job. Being an upstander rather than a bystander when you see oppression. And talking to people who are different than you during Tupper Supper and fellowship. These are only a few examples of what I see in this congregation. Please know that whatever you decide is yours to say or to do, that whatever you say or do creates change in our world, and it's important, and it's impactful. Thank you.
So I thought I'd bring my chair today. First, because I want you to see me as I really am. You know, I can walk with help, but I spend most of my days in my chair. Walking in church gives me great exercise, but I'm often really tired by the time I get home. Second, I brought my chair because it's so much more comfortable than anything else for me. So you get to see me just as I really am. My name is Jay Smith, and I found First UU in the spring of 2015. I became a member in 2018, and I know I need to keep with the trend of identifying myself. I'm a white male with white hair and a white shirt. I've got the trifecta of whiteness going on. Fortunately, I've got black pants on, so I can be seen now. But I'm going to go off script a little bit because I see we're running short on time, and I was told that a good service starts on time and ends on time, so I'm going to make an attempt to do that. Just make it brief. Over the Halloween weekend in 2022, I had a series of strokes that changed my life. I became disabled from my face down to my toes on my left side, and two of the strokes occurred in my head that affected both my speech and memory, but I'm getting better. And there were some blood clots and other issues, but TMI. I need to be concise and keep it short. I spent the next 14 months in a rehab center learning to walk and relearning how to use words, at least well enough to be understood and to stop drooling and stuff like that. So it was a positive experience, all things considered. But I want to say that during that time, this church has been one of the bright spots of hope for me in my recovery and has meant more than you can probably ever know. This church, all of you included, has been my antidote to despair, fear, depression, and anger that I've sometimes felt. It wasn't just the cards, they're important, and thank you, the letters, or the folks that came to visit, but it's everything that I've learned here, everything that we sing about. It's all the energy that we create and share. So let me say deeply thank you right now to you all. I don't know if I'll ever really be able to express fully how grateful I am. It's been a lifeline for me. But my road to recovery hasn't been all puppy dogs, rainbows, and unicorns, right? There have been times of despair and anger that have felt bigger than anything I could overcome. I don't have a lot of time to talk about all that, but it's clear that I've changed. And I'm waking up to the fact that some people, my old friends, former coworkers, and people who knew me in the time before, see me differently now. So I grew up as one of the lucky ones, someone right in the center of the American middle class. Society labels me as privileged, and while that's true, it's not something I chose, but something I've learned along the way that unfortunately exists. Generally, the world sees all of us through the lens of gender, race, sexuality, religion, disability, wealth, or even height, weight, age, or usually a combination of all these categories. And that's what's at the core of the term we use in the title of this service today, intersectionality. In plain language, it's the combination of all the biases that society judges each of us by that creates a compound disadvantage for those of us living on the margins of society, those of us who are different, whether the difference is obvious or not. Intersectionality is typically defined as a negative effect of these biases. But today, in honor of the 34th anniversary of the signing of the ADA, I thought we'd shine some light on it and turn it into an element of positive change and awareness. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to use the word intersectionality in a sentence, but in a positive light. Through an awareness of intersectionality, we can better acknowledge and ground the differences between us. This applies to us all. We're all different. We're all unique. Nelson Mandela wrote, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of their skin or their background, their gender or their religion. People must learn to hate, but if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." I hope that we can move from social justice to the concept of social equity. And what's the difference, you ask? Here's a brief explanation that I hope can be understandable. Imagine that you go to your favorite soccer field to watch a match that's important to you. You've asked your best friend to come along and they agreed, providing that they could bring their child with. When you get to the field, you're surprised because you find that they've put a new tall fence that blocks the view from the regular area you used to sit in. You see, people have been using milk crates to stand on so that the shorter people could see over the fence. Social justice would be running over and getting a milk carton for your friend and their child who are vertically challenged so that they could see over the fence. But social equity is eliminating the fence so that everyone can see regardless of their height. Now, I know that's a simplistic example, but my understanding of social equity is that it accepts each of us just as we are and works to eliminate any barrier for all of us to have equal access to everything. So I'd like to close my reflection today with a poem titled Tapestry. In the tapestry of life, threads intertwine. Where intersections meet, identities define. A kaleidoscope of colors, a symphony of sound. Each unique thread in the fabric is found. At the crossroads of race, gender, and class, intersecting identities, shaping our path. Like rivers converging in an endless stream, we navigate the currents in a complex dream. A woman of color, her voice silenced by fear, invisible struggles, invisible tears. Her story woven into the tapestry's fold, a silent scream in a world so cold. A queer youth searching for acceptance and love in a world that denies the beauty thereof. Their identity, a rainbow of hues, in a monochrome world they refuse to lose. The immigrant's journey across borders and seas, seeking refuge amidst turmoil and pleas. Their culture, their language, a part of their soul, In a foreign language, in a foreign land, they strive to be whole. The disabled artist creating despite barriers and obstacles, casting no light. Their canvas speaks volumes in strokes bold and clear, a testament to resilience in the face of fear. Intersectionality, a prism so bright, refracting our truths in the darkest of night. Each thread, each intersection, a story to tell in the tapestry of humanity where all stories dwell. Let us embrace diversity in all its forms, for in unity and true harmony, an understanding is born. Intersectionality, a guiding light in the journey towards justice, social equity in sight. May it be so.
As you're comfortable, hands to the sky, hands to the earth over your heart. Our benediction comes from the Reverend Juan J. Soto. We are the people who return to love like the North Star, and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. And so it is. Amen.
Don't need much for a happy life. You just need hope and peace of mind. A whole lot of loving and a little time can make your whole world go round. A friend to call on a Saturday, a quiet walk in the summer rain. The simple things in our everyday can bring us back to here and now. Happiness, happiness, right here, right at our fingertips. Happiness, you don't need bait and a fishing line when you got the catch of a lifetime. Oh, everybody's looking for a better find. Well, maybe that's 'cause they don't have you. You help me smile when I'm sideways, and you laugh out loud at the smallest things. And when this whole world's getting heavy, you bring me back to what is true. Happiness, happiness, happiness. It's always right here, right at our fingertips. Oh, happiness, 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 happiness. Take a good look at the sky. Nature shows us weather and seasons bring change. I want to live my whole life from right now, like this time means everything. You don't need much for a happy life. Some letting go and being kind. And when your heart breaks open wide, feeling the tender joy in